Thank you to CandyEvie and 8-Bit Dino for inspiring this video. Sorry, buddy, I gotta do this to ya. There. You're an advertisement now. Oh, ew, it's a hatch shiny. At least it came with a Master Ball. Wonder Trading was a feature in Pokemon X and Y where you could randomly connect with another person around the world, and in return you'd get that player's Pokemon. It was ingenious and so popular that it's been in every Pokemon game since. Well, besides a couple of spin-offs and remakes, but the core of Wonder Trading has stuck around all of these years.
Did anyone else watch Nappy's Wondertrade Wednesday streams back in 2015, 2016? Is that just me? But in the year of our planet, 2024, the original Wonder Trade servers have unfortunately died.
But now with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it's called Surprise Trade. But for the sake of this video, I will be referring to it as Wonder Trade, like how it always should be.
I did say YT CandyEvie and 8-Bit Dino inspired this video, so you can assume what kind of video this is.
I Wonder Traded 1,000 Pokemon. But not just any random Pokemon, no. 1,000 of the same Pokemon.
I chose my favorite Ghost and Dark type Pokemon because it is the season of spooky.
I of course chose Spiritomb.
That reminds me, I need to go change into my Halloween costume.
Hey, yo, who wants to battle? Yo? I don't know what that was. Yeah, this is my Team Skullgrunt cosplay. I got these skeleton gloves and I just cut the tips off because I thought that would be pretty cool. They don't originally have gloves, but I thought, why not? Skeleton gloves. That'd be a cool addition. Made the straps out of socks. And I got the necklace off of Etsy, actually. It is actually made out of metal. Oh, and I've attached my own Mega Stone to it.
And with it being such a rare Pokemon usually, you'd think it would be hard to get 1,000 of them, right? Well, no.
You can easily breed them like any other Pokemon.
I'm sure that should be common knowledge by now, but I didn't know that until Sword and Shield came out. If you've seen CandyEvie's or 8-Bit Dino's video on this, you'll know that breeding 1,000 Pokemon eggs is not fun. Days upon days going back and forth from the restaurant to get the level 2 spawn egg from the apple dish thing, then going back and waiting outside of the town for the timer to run out while collecting eggs before I do it all over again. So in a matter of days, I've collected hundreds of Spiritomb spawn, and now my PC is completely full.
And I am using the Masuda method to shiny hunt while hatching eggs.
And with the shiny charm, that's a 1 in 512 chance of hatching a shiny. And I always wanted a pretty blue shiny Spiritomb. My dream.
Wait a second, I should probably check the Pokédex entry just to make sure what exactly I'm plaguing onto the world. Here, there we go.
Spiritomb, the forbidden Pokemon. Writings tell that this Pokemon was born out of the assembly of exactly 108 spirits. No one knows exactly how many of those spirits in the mix are ill-natured, however. It lays curses by thinking wicked thoughts. All Spiritomb's mischief and misdeeds compelled a traveler to use a mysterious spell to bind Spiritomb to an odd keystone 500 years ago to keep it from doing any more mischief.
Oh.
Spirits of what? People? Pokemon? If I collected 1,000 of them, does that mean I collected 108,000 souls of both human and Pokemon and spread them across the earth? Let's be real, humans are just related to Pokemon and no one really talks about that enough. We're not even going to talk about the recent Typhlosion lore leak. That was just... no.
Other than looking cool, I have seen Spiritomb used competitively, so maybe not a lot of people have a Spiritomb out there. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm willingly giving people Pokemon, not self-promoting in any way. I am a Pokemon hero.
But holding 1,000 Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet is actually impossible, because there's only room for 960 total Pokemon in storage. For the last 40, I had to get creative.
And I know what you might be thinking. Alex, Pokemon is for children. Didn't you have fun at least while doing this experiment? No.
Well, I just have to say, I spent so much time doing this, and I wish that I hadn't.
I'm not the best with time management, and I did okay in school, but I had to learn how to use spreadsheets all by myself. Willingly.
Yes, it was wildly helpful seeing what Pokemon I have on paper in front of me. But it was a bitch to fill out. I have to type down the Pokemon's name, if they're a shiny or hacked, what Pokeball they're in, if they have a nickname, what original region they're from based on their language, and so on. Anything that makes a Pokemon stand out. It's, mostly Route 1 Pokemon and shiny hacks, but I just had a great time spending hours upon weeks of my time doing this.
For perspective, I started trading on August 9th, 2024, and I ended it September 18th, 2024. Took me 6 weeks.
In that time, a lot of things happened to me. I started my Star Trek Online series, I went on 2 cross-country road trips from Ontario to British Columbia, then back, and I went to a pretty nice wedding.
Oh, and I started taking antidepressants. Take them if you got them.
I obviously can't talk about every Pokemon I got, so I'm just gonna do the highlights of every 10 boxes or so. Starting with boxes 1 through 10. Starting the trading off strong with a shiny hacked right off the bat. Shiny Iron Hands is just kinda ugly, to be honest. Just gotta say it.
But that wasn't the end, my friends. No. They just kept coming.
These first 10 boxes have 59 shinies, and 58 of them are hacked. The only legit shiny I got from this round was a shiny Goomy from Pokemon Go named Viscora.
Thank you, very kind J2. Thank you very much for the actual shiny this time.
And these next ones I'll just list off. I got a Japanese Smoliv named Elon. Regular Yungoos whose original trainer's name is Alexander, who spelled it like this.
Being an Alexander myself, you do not put a Z in the middle of that name. I am actually offended.
A Shroodle named P.
I hope you're amused, Mason. Thank you. Thank you very much for this.
Then I got this Clodsire named Whoopie. I'm assuming he was traded because little Timmy over here was a little too attached to his Whooper, and when it evolved into this thing, he was like, no thank you, and traded him away. Then I got this really confusing regular hacked Spitops from a guy named Kevdog. It's not a hacked shiny, it's a regular hacked Spitops. No wonder he didn't want it. A very appropriately named Starly named Star. An Applin named Fatty Boy. Wait, let me just get him more fatty here, 1 second. There we go, that's better. Now he's a fatty boy. Oh, and the actual Yoda, the Jedi Knight himself, sent me a Wiglet. A Tarantula named Tula, and an Igglybuff named Ball. In box 5, I got 3 Pokemon from the same trainer named Corey.
I checked, and yes, they do have the same ID numbers.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, in my first box, I got a whole ass Urshifu. Not a hacked or shiny, just a regular Urshifu. And the only actual ribbon I got from these first 10 boxes was a Paldea ribbon from a Pawmot. That means this Pawmot completed the Elite Four with this trainer and became the champion. And then Michael was like, nah thanks, bye.
It's a good thing I didn't get one of my Spiritombs sent back to me. And what am I gonna do about it? Nothing. Let's continue.
And this is where we're currently at with the Pokédex. Also, while I was hatching and trading, I found a few shinies of my own. This round was a little more interesting. I hatched 2 more shiny Spiritomb, fuck yeah! Now I can play BDSP and Legends with individual shiny Spiritomb. I got a lot more shiny hacked Pokemon this time around. 68 shiny Pokemon in total this time, and 66 of them were hacked. 2 of them were actually real shinies, a Larvitar and a Flittle.
Shiny Flittle kinda looks minty to me.
Sonic the Hedgehog himself sent me a rare Mousehold family of 4, and I don't even have that form yet.
Yes, thank you so much, Sonic. We couldn't have done it without you.
Meow?
I got my second legendary, and it's a hacked shiny Articuno. A Gyarados named Yennefer from Yennefer. And I also cannot escape the amount of gimme ghouls with different Terra types coming my way because there was some event going on while I was trading, so I just kept getting people's rejected boxes.
And it only added 90 more Pokemon to my Pokédex, so you can tell it's not going very well. And I had to actually rush those last couple of boxes because I was about to go on 2 cross-country road trips from Ontario to Vancouver and back again, dropping off my sister for school.
What? Just go over there and put welcome to Manitoba.
Also, while editing, I had to go to Toronto for 5 days, so I had to put a little extension on when I wanted to release this video initially.
I played a lot of Pokemon Go while I was on the trip, catching Pokemon wherever I could, including outside of a Denny's, and even catching the event Diancie while in the process.
I have 3 Diancie now, don't ask me why.
I also went to Lake Louise in Banff and took a rock straight out of the lake.
I'm not saying this is an actual rock that came off specifically from the Rocky Mountains, but I got it from Lake Louise, so I'm gonna say that it is, and I'm just gonna keep saying that it is.
I also got to go to Steveston, Vancouver, where they filmed Once Upon a Time.
Oh my gosh, the place I have been wanting to go to so badly. It's Mr. Gold's shop. Now it's Mr. Gold's Gelato,
But they didn't have anything Once Upon a Time related anymore because the show was too old. So that sucks. And then we drove all the way to Vulcan, Alberta. Any Star Trek fan's dream. Just for reference, this is how big Spock's hand is compared to mine. I bet you're jealous now.
And of course I took my Switch with me.
I did only hatch a couple of boxes while lounging in the backseat of the car while the rest of the family took turns driving because I don't have my license yet. We stayed in a number of hotels, but I was only able to connect to only 2 hotel Wi-Fis with my Switch. A Comfort Inn in Alberta on the way to BC, and then an Alpine Inn on the way back to Ontario. You might be confused why I only did 2 boxes while I was there. That's because I got really annoyed because I got the most hacked shiny Pokemon in a single box out of any boxes before it.
My 22nd box was half filled with hacked shinies.
But besides all of that, what did I get in these 2 boxes? Well, I got a Hoppip from Normie Girl. Okay. A Starly from Mr. Bacon.
And unfortunately there was no more shiny Spiritomb, so that sucks.
There wasn't really anything interesting this time around. It only did add 9 Pokemon to the Pokédex. So let's just finish off these last 10 boxes. And there wasn't really anything special this time around either, but only a few stood out to me.
I took a break when I got home from the trip because I was obviously exhausted. And then I basically did a speed run of all the rest of the boxes I had left.
Here we have a Scatterbug named Scatterboo and a Whooper named Potato. That's adorable. I also got 2 Pokemon from a guy named Fuckface, a Gengar named Spooky, and just a simple Tynamo. I didn't get any more shiny Spiritomb this time around, but since I got 3 shiny Spiritomb before from the first couple boxes, I had to breed 3 more Spiritomb eggs.
So I got my Japanese Ditto and one of my shiny Spiritomb and made them go at it.
Well, that was a disappointment.
And this round did only add 62 Pokemon to the Pokédex, currently standing at 343 out of 1025. So we're almost there.
So since Scarlet and Violet's PC can only hold 960 total Pokemon in all 32 boxes, I hatched 40 more Spiritomb eggs and brought them over to Pokemon Home. In the app version, it actually allows you to view your Pokemon, transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go, and lets you use the GTS and 2 kinds of Wonder Trade features, the Wonder Box and Trade Rooms.
Trading with random people on the internet to get their rejects, but this time on your phone. And trading from home means that you're not bound by the Paldean dex, so you can get any Pokemon you possibly think of from these.
I traded the first 30 Spiritomb in Wonder Box and the last 10 in the trade rooms. The Wonder Box feature is the better out of the two for the trading, but trading all 30 Spiritomb does take longer than you'd expect.
It does take an hour for the trades to go through, but it doesn't kick you off the servers like the trade rooms do. So all 30 Spiritomb will be traded in about 3 hours, give or take.
3 hours later.
An Alolan Raichu from a guy named Moist Hands.
Or speaking moistly on them.
And the only nickname Pokemon in this box is a Gligar named Scorgula. Did I get that right? Shiny Collect sent me a regular Grubbin. That's not a shiny, so I guess they just didn't want it.
I have to admit, the trade rooms are really fun, but super glitchy.
Trade rooms in the Pokemon Home app is where you can connect to 1 out of 20 people to trade with, and it is the worst Pokemon related thing I've ever experienced so far. I was kicked off so many servers, and when I could connect to the servers, you could see what Pokemon people were trading, and I didn't really like that because it's a Wonder Trade, because I wanted to wonder what Pokemon I was gonna get.
This was the last box, but it's actually my favorite out of all of them.
Then I got 2 more Pokemon Home promo Pikachus. I guess nobody wants these. Stop giving us promo Route 1 Pokemon. Nobody wants these. And then a regular level 20 Yveltal from Pokemon Go.
And the very last Pokemon I get on trade rooms is... a shiny Golurk, fuck yeah!
The Pokemon Home trades are where I got the most Pokemon traded from other games. I got a couple from Pokemon Go in the other boxes, but this is where I got the most from Legends, BDSP, Sword and Shield, and Let's Go. And getting an actual box legendary, not a hacked or a shiny one either, just a regular Yveltal. I mean, I'll take it.
And after completing all of the boxes, how did we do? We only completed with 357 out of 1025. Pathetic.
After all those weeks of hatching, trading, and cataloging, how did I do? What Pokemon from each generation is the most popular trade? What Pokeball is the most used? What country has the most trades? Obviously starting with Kanto. I got 29 total shinies. All of the shinies were hacked, and the award for most shinies in Generation 1 goes to Gengar with 16. And getting Zapdos and Articuno were pretty cool, but those were hacked too, so that's no good. And for the top 3 most traded Kanto Pokemon, Charmander is actually at number 3 with 10 trades. 6 of those were actually hacked shinies. And number 2 is Gengar with 18 trades. Like I said, 16 of those were hacked shinies. Yes, 16. And a lot of those hacked shinies were Haunters that evolved into Gengar after being traded to me, wasting my goddamn time.
And the number 1 most traded Kanto Pokemon, I guess you can bet what it is.
That's right, of course it's Eevee with 19 trades. Of course, one of the most popular Pokemon of all time next to Pikachu. I was surprised there was only 1 hacked shiny too. And the number 3 most traded Gen 2 Pokemon is Blissey with 7 trades. Number 2 is Skizor, specifically hatched shiny Skizor, with 9 trades. And the most traded Generation 2 Pokemon is Hoppip, with 17 trades. Of course it was going to be a Route 1 Pokemon. And Generation 3 finally has some winning ties. Tied for number 3 is Spoink, shiny hacked Milotic, and Tropius, all with 4 trades. Number 2 is Ralts and Swablu with 5 trades.
And at number 1, is a Zurill with 9 trades.
And we're finally on to Generation 4, my personal favorite generation. And no, I did not include Hisui forms here. And of course at number 3 is a tie with Shinx and Riolu at 5 trades. Riolu is really popular and Shinx is another Route 1 Pokemon. Number 2 is Gible and Hacked Shiny Porygon Z with 6 trades. And the most traded Sinnoh Pokemon is Hacked Shiny Rhyperior with 7 trades. And finally, moving on to Gen 5.
This generation actually has 4 third place winners. Zorua, Foongus, Axew, and Beartic all with 3 trades.
Hacked Shiny Conkeldurr at number 2 with 6 trades, and all of them, just like Gengar, evolved from Shiny Girder.
And the number 1 most traded Gen 5 Pokemon is Deerling with 7 trades.
Generation 6 is the first generation with a legit legendary, being that fucking Yveltal.
A level 20 Yveltal from Pokemon Go, but it's a box legendary nonetheless.
The third most traded Generation 6 Pokemon is Skidoo with 8 trades. Number 2 is another Route 1 Pokemon with Scatterbug at 9 trades. And then Froakie at number 1 with 10 trades. 2 of them are hacked shinies though. Sun and Moon introduced Alolan forms, so that's where these ones are going on the list. And 2 of those forms are actually at the number 3 spot in a tie with Alolan Vulpix and Alolan Golem with 5 trades. 4 of those Golems are hacked shinies though. Number 2 is Rockruff with 6 trades. And of course, the most traded Alolan Pokemon is Yungoos with 7 trades. And for Generation 8, Hacked Shiny Scorbunny, Corviknight, and Hacked Shiny Grimmsnarl are all at number 3 at 4 trades. Number 2 is Rookity and Galarian Slowpoke at 5 trades. Since Sun and Moon introduced alternate forms, they just kept making more of them. And at number 1, of course, another Route 1 Pokemon is Squovit with 6 trades.
And before we get to Gen 9, I'm going to go over the Hisuian Pokemon now because Legends Arceus came out before Scarlet and Violet.
The number 3 most traded Hisuian Pokemon is a tie with Voltorb, Sneasel, Whiteform Basculin, and Hacked Shiny Sliggoo, all with 1 trade.
I didn't get many Hisuian forms anyway.
Number 2 is Hacked Shiny Ursaluna and Zorua with 2 trades. And the number 1 most traded Hisui Pokemon is surprisingly Quillfish with 3 trades.
And since I was doing the trading in Pokemon Violet, I was obviously going to get most of the Pokemon traded from Scarlet and Violet.
At number 3 is Fuecoco with 13 trades. And of course, Lechonk is at number 2 with 14 trades. And the most traded Paldean Pokemon is Gimmighoul with 19 trades. I got so many Gimmighoul at once and with so many different Terra types because of some event that was going on at the same time. But for some reason, out of all odds, Gimmighoul made it out on top as the most regularly traded Pokemon out of my own Wondertrade experiment. Congratulations, little box boy. Never thought you could do it.
How ironic that the most traded Pokemon in this Halloween video is a ghost type. And just as I suspected, most of the winning Pokemon are just Gen 1 Pokemon people throw onto Wondertrade just so they can get a quick pseudo-legendary or something.
I know you might think I'm ridiculous, but yes, I counted every type of Pokeball that was used just to see what kind of Pokeball was used the most, and the results may surprise you.
I thought it would be the Ultra Ball, but it's just a bit short at 87 trades. The Great Ball was actually the 3rd most used with 90 trades. Number 2 makes sense with the Quick Ball at 100 trades. And the most used Pokeball is the regular Pokeball, because of course it is.
In the older Pokemon games that had Wonder Trading, you could see what country and region that the other trainer was living in. And it was so cool seeing where your little Pichu was gonna head off to. But they don't do that anymore for obvious reasons. So I did what YT CandyEvie and 8-Bit Dino did and kept track of the languages. And starting off with the rarest languages, first is Italian with 5 trades in total, then it's Korean with 10 trades, then Chinese Traditional with 16 trades, Chinese Simplified has 22 trades, French only has 36 trades, and German only has 1 more than French with 37 trades, then Spanish with 60 trades, and we took a humongous jump with 171 trades for Japan.
And yes, of course, it's English with 567 trades.
And of course, it's English that won out in the end. Most of the trades were English hacked shinies, so that adds up.
English, you cheated your way to victory. Just like always. In conclusion, I am never doing this again. Ever. This is not fun for me.
Okay, before I end this video, there is one more thing I have to do. Remember that Spiritomb that was traded back to me? Well, I still have to trade that off again. This is the actual last Pokemon of this Wonder Trade video. So let's see what I get, shall we? Fuck.